It's a bright Wednesday morning. Everything is completely normal, except your brother isn't coming out of his room. Well, what's the big deal? Not if he's the only one with a job in the house, so sleeping in is not an option, at least for him. Neither is being unwell, apparently. Things get even more serious when his chief clerk comes to fetch him, but yet he isn't coming out. What could be keeping him in? This is usually unlike him. But hold up, there's something. He is trying to open the door. Struggling is a more appropriate way to put it. Wow, he must be really sick. But when he eventually opens the door, you are completely horrified. You look around to make sure you're not hallucinating, but the response from around the room is enough to assure you. Everyone is seeing this. This is Gregor Samsa. He is a traveling salesman, and also the head that wears the crown of responsibilities. Here's the gist. Gregor's parents owes a bunch of loans, but Gregor is the one that is paying off those loans. Not to mention putting food on their table, clothes on their backs, roof over their heads. Okay, maybe I added that last two, but Gregor is basically carrying the weight of the family on his head. Well, things are about to change. One morning, Gregor wakes up. Something's different about him, but he can't quite put his finger on it. Or maybe he can, 'cause he is a bug, a vermin, as Kafka put it. Now this is bad. Gregor is worried about missing his morning train. He worries about his family, 'cause this man feels responsible for his parents and little sister. This is obviously his priority, 'cause I can think of a number of things to worry for aside that. Someone's at the door. It's Gregor's chief clerk, who is not so pleased that someone is not at work yet. Gregor tries to open the door, but his new cockroach hands are not so handy. His parents, who has been speculating that he might be ill, suggested a bunch of things to help. His mom says, let's call a doctor. His father has other ideas. Anyways, Gregor successfully opens the door. When he comes out, everyone was horrified. But hey, you can't blame them. The guy's a giant bug. The chief clerk was out the door in a second, leaving his stick and newspaper, while his father made good use of them by taking the stick and chasing Gregor back into his room. Oh, and there's Gregor's mother. She fainted at the sight of him. Gregor is back in his room, hurt physically and emotionally. The door sealed shut. He feels guilty for everything that has transpired in the living room. Soon, there's a knock on his door. It's his sister. She has something in her hands. It's his favorite food, which is good. All these bug business has made Gregor pretty hungry. That and the fact that he has not eaten anything that day. This is great. Gregor's younger sister. She's also really good with the violin. Her dream? To attend a big music school that is anything but cheap. We know her jobless parents can't afford that, but hey, maybe someone else can? Back to Gregor. She drops this food by the side of his bed. He goes for it, but it is nasty. Gregor does not enjoy this meal. He can't even pass it through his throat. His sister sees this. She leaves with the food. Someone's at the door again. It's his sister. There's something in her hands. It's food, but this time it's rotten. She drops it. Stand by the door and observe. Gregor goes to the food and tries it. Wow, tastes like chicken. It was really good. Well, seems like it's rotten food from now on for the new cockroach in the house. Or man-roach? I don't know, man. Days pass. Gregor, still the same. A vermin. His family slowly adapting, taking up new roles to fend for themselves. No one comes to see him, but his sister, and even her visits becomes occasionally. The door, sealed shut. Gregor still worries not for himself, but for his family. He sees himself a burden. He wishes he could help. He wishes he could go back to work. He wishes everything goes back to the way it was, so he becomes relevant again. He listens every day, through the door. No one talks to him anymore. He learns his mother now sews. His father a messenger at a bank, which, hint hint, he doesn't really like the idea. Gregor misses his family warmth. He misses his mom. The last time he saw her was that dark morning, and he barely saw her conscious. The last image of his father was while he was chasing him back in with a stick. But it wasn't the fact that he hit him with the stick that saddens him. It's that noise he was making at him. It was as if he was dealing with an animal. His sister comes once in a while, but says nothing, and drops food he no longer see the need to consume. But when she comes in, he hides under his bed so as not to burden her with the sight of his new, hideous form. Gregor crawls around the room in a bid to adjust to his new lifestyle. But what once served him as a human being now were obstructions to his crawling as a bug. But it appears his sister is more present than Gregor thinks, because she suggests they clear out his room so he can have space to crawl around. But his mother is not quite buying this. His mother protested to removing the furnitures, saying he might need it when he comes back. This goes to show that somewhere deep down, there's still hope that the metamorphosis isn't yet complete. Gregor, who has, nothing to do but eavesdrop, hears all these and kind of agrees with his mother. But his sister won that argument. So one day when his father was out, his mother and sister decides to clean out the room. This does not sit well with Gregor, because even though his sister convinced his mom, she haven't totally convinced him. So he tries to hold on to some stuff. Bad idea, because his mother, who has not seen him in a while, sees him cling on to a painting on the wall of a woman in a fur coat in an attempt to save it, and she is horrified. She takes off running while Gregor runs after her, and we're not really clear why he does this. Perhaps he doesn't yet fully grasp the reality of his appearance. Wrong time for Papa to come home, because he thinks Gregor has maybe gone wild and is attacking his wife, and he will be having none of that. He takes a jar of apples and aggressively throws at Gregor. Talk about a resourceful man. Gregor tries to escape these falling fruits as he simultaneously avoids crawling on the wall because he just knows this will further aggravate his father. It didn't help that Grete locked the door when she ran after the pair. One of those apples lodges in Gregor back before he was able to get into his room. This is excruciatingly painful. Well, a series of events happens after that. They are more sympathetic towards Greg. They leave the door open at evenings. They take up a new cleaning lady, who sees Gregor as a little bounty hunt for her. His sister no longer comes to his room. Plus, they take up these guys to lodge in their house for a while to raise some extra fees, because apparently being a salesman pays more than being a messenger, salesgirl, and tailor joined together. These guys are a piece of work. For starters, they are neat freaks who constantly demands removal of things. Guess where those things ends up? Gregor's room. One day, Grete is playing the violin so magically, and Gregor in his room is in a daze. This be lit, I gotta hear it louder. So he goes out to hear Grete play, while he reminisces on how he had planned to take Grete to that music school. He was supposed to announce at Christmas, which was months ago. Turns out not only Greg liked Grete playing, because the lodgers comes out to listen too. Pretends to be nonchalant while loving it. But one of them spots Gregor. This drives them insane. They're not scared, just disgusted. They say they will leave and will not pay. They even threaten to call the cops. But something unexpected happens. Grete, not Dad, lost her cool. His father said if only he would understand, while his mom sobbed. This made Gregor extremely sad. He went back into his room, and that night, he died. The next day, the cleaning lady broke the news to his family. But get this, they are relieved. Later that day, after the cleaner has disposed of Gregor, they felt a bit of remorse and dismissed her. Then they took a walk, for the first time together, through the city. As they were in the train, the parents noticed that Grete is turning into a beautiful young lady, and it may be time to find a husband for her.